Ain't nothing like a funky beat.
Alright, I think we're almost ready to go. We're doing Super Mario Strikers corruptions for that, for the GameCube. And we'll be using the Windows Glitch Harvester for that. And I got almost everything ready. I got my water. We'll get started here in about a minute. How's that soundtrack, huh? That's from Lethal League Blaze, which is the sequel to Lethal League. I prefer the old one, but Blaze isn't bad. It changed up some mechanics, and it's pretty good. I recommend it. And they got a killer soundtrack. It's from the producer of Jet Set Radio. Producer? Composer? Composer of Jet Set Radio. For the most part, a lot of the songs are. Anyway, let's get started here. So, how we're going to begin by starting our first corruption is we're going to find a save state to begin corrupting, and I think the best place to do it would probably be in-game. However, we might do one of the cinematics at the intro, so we'll pick two just to go off. So we're going to hit start here once everything is going. There we go. I'll do a grudge match. Daisy and Toad versus Waluigi and Koopa. Okay. And I'm getting ready with save states now. As soon as I find a place I'd like to begin corrupting, I'm gonna blast a manual save state at Dolphin. Oh, and unfortunately, how about that? My save states aren't saving properly. Let's see. So those are both empty. I'd actually like to do one right there at the beginning when they're walking out, but unfortunately, I can't see why my controls for that have been disabled. So I have to manually hit save state through Dolphin. I'm using a modified version of Dolphin. It's Neri's mod for Dolphin that works with the Windows Glitch Harvester. Thank you, Neri. Unfortunately, every once in a while the controls get a little wacky. So we're going to reboot the core, or actually just rerun the emulation from the beginning. Thankfully we can turbo through everything. Oh, notifications. You're going to hear that a little bit. Alright. Grab match. Same people. Where else we should do? The underground's actually a nice place to do. So I'm gonna get ready. Since we're doing manual save states, actually I have to go through Dolphin's menu system and select these. So I'm just getting ready now. I think we're ready in the intro. We're gonna have one set. Alright, and now I'm gonna pause. Oh, Facebook, I'm gonna disable notifications for you. Let's turn that off. Block. Alright. No more of that. I think this is through my controller settings. Let me see. No, it's kind of a hotkey setting. Hotkey settings. Sorry about the wait here, I'm just making sure I can set save states properly. I know what, I'm not worried about it. We're not going to do as much manual prototyping as we might. We're just going to go directly to the Windows Glitch Harvester, which is off to the left side of the screen there, if you can kind of see it. We have a couple sliders there that I'll explain what they do as we go along. But starting off just as a brief overview, we have general parameters, which you can change the intensity, the starting address, and the location within the ROM you'd like to corrupt, and blast range, which we won't be touching. The stash history, which will store a variety of save states with blast layers applied to them. We'll select those save states to view our corruptions, since the blast layer contains the memory rights that formulate our corruptions, and the stockpile manager that will list all of the sanitized and perfected corruptions that we'd like to keep after the stream or after we finish corrupting. So starting off, I would like to begin corrupting. So in the back end, you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to change the corruption engine from Nightmare to Vector. And we're going to use an extended plus limiter list as well as an extended plus value list. These will ensure that we're not crashing the emulator as often. We won't be corrupting just sort of randomly within the ROM and corrupt something that we probably shouldn't. That would end it, result in it crashing. We're using sort of safe values in a sense. Next, we're going to up the intensity just a tiny bit. We'll go up to 121,000. And starting address, well, we need to target our save state first before we can adjust that. So I'm going to find the save state within my PC. That'll be stored wherever Dolphin is located. Alright, and now with that selected, I have a accurate range of the starting address, or how big the ROM actually is. And we're going to go towards the beginning. Not quite at the beginning where the system functions are, but a little bit further than that. And from there, we're going to hit blast target. Now we won't see anything in the emulation so far, just because we haven't loaded anything yet. But we do see that there's an item added to our stash history. And doesn't seem I'm capturing my mouse, so yeah. we do have an item in the stash history, and if we right-click that, we can open that item in our Blast Editor, which I'm actually just now going to increase on the screen. Before, I've had to actually go back to previous recordings of the stream and take a look at the Blast Editor and take a look at the values, and it's just a little too small to read, and I'd like to be able to reproduce those values from my stream archives. So I'm just going to increase the size of that here, make it a little bit more readable. We will cover, what? How about that? I want to be able to see the stash history since that's where it's going to result in. The only problem with this is we don't want to cover the game screen as much, just because we'll see the results in the game screen almost instantaneously. We'll cover just a portion of it like that. Alright. So there's Blast Editor, there is the stash history, and with this first corruption we're actually going to inject it into the ROM, which you only see in real time, so I'm going to have to load the ROM now, and inject that blast layer, or load that save state essentially. And we'll see if we see any corruption on screen. There's not going to be a whole lot. It's a fairly low intensity. Also, something I like to do is that game is extremely small for me. Let's increase the size here a little bit. I have to increase it on OBS as well. A little bit of a camera mess up there. Oh, that seems to look alright. These bounds are a little bit off. Let's increase that. There we go. Okay, and as I said, there's not too much of an interesting corruption here. We're not seeing anything that we particularly enjoy. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep creating save states or save states with blast layers applied to them until we find an effect that we're interested in keeping. So I'm going to clear my history for the stash history, and now we're just going to sort of reiterate again and again until we find that something. So that one wasn't bad. You see, it kind of skipped around. It's as if the individual portions of that movie are corrupted, so it's just skipping. That might be interesting to keep. We'll put as it may be, and put it on the stockpile manager. Something I'm currently doing is I'm accepting background input, which is sometimes useful, but not for the time being. Accepting background input means just that I can still use the controller even though I'm typing in stuff on the keyboard, or the actual window doesn't need to be focused in order to accept input. That can sometimes be annoying when you're typing in stuff in the stockpile manager and you're hitting certain hotkeys. So I'm going to disable that for the time being. But we're going to continue here. And this is the sort of quick prototyping that I'm doing. I'm just taking an eye, see if I see anything I like. Something I think I might prefer doing is waiting for the first character to get out, because we won't see any physical corruptions until then. So maybe we should adjust our save state. I think that's the case. I'm gonna load that. Okay, so we're gonna load that every single time. That's odd. We got a bunch of terrible corruptions there. There we go. We seem to be corrupting a very bad place within memory. And Dolphin is crashed. Alright, so let's move our save state again. I'm annoyed I can't use keybinds because usually I can quickly prototype through the save states and find a nice place. No, I can't. Okay, I just need to reload Dolphin. Alright. Ah, shoot, I'm still not sure exactly where I want the save state. I think this is good, because they're already loaded in. Let's do it here. Dolphin has crashed. Man, that's too often. We're using the vector engine, so there shouldn't be any problem with river corrupting specifically. It just might be we're doing it at a very important part where a lot of stuff's being loaded, possibly. I'm gonna adjust my starting address to be a little bit further on the spectrum. We can also raise the intensity. Dolphin crashed again, man. Targeting the correct save state, yeah. Let's do a very low intensity, just make sure it doesn't crash off the bat. Okay, so this should be doing nothing. We have like no intensity at all. But that's not loading in properly. So I don't know what's going on there. Let's quit out of this. And let's just try corrupting here. That all works okay. You know, I think it's because I didn't retarget the new save state after the fact, and I don't think necessarily the memory range changed, but maybe the alignment did? I'm not sure. Either way, we're back to normal, I guess. Load the fresh save state. That one. And do this once again. I'm gonna do 3 save states. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we're only going to target the first one because that's the only one we want to mess with for the time being. So that is now targeted. And blasting target. Okay, that's more normal. It doesn't seem to be crashing every other time. So, I'm happy with the results of that. I don't want to corrupt the field as much though, because that doesn't look too interesting unless we find one off the bat that we like. I mean, that's kind of cool, but as a corruption itself, we need to save an individual save state with every time we create a stockpile. You need to keep that save state associated with the stockpile, and they cannot be separated. So having 5 or 6 save states can be kind of a lot in terms of packaging and making sure that they all check out, and when they're loaded properly. So normally I always stick to 1 save state, if not 2, if we really need to move to 2. So I think let's try this one. There's Big Daisy said. Head returns back to normal gameplay, so that's interesting. Maybe we should just do... Oh, I did something wrong there. We can just do gameplay. So, right here. Because the cinematics might not corrupt too nicely. So we'll give that a go a couple times. Just testing the water, seeing what we like. Oh, really intense shadows? That's kinda cool, that's like big shadows. So now I guess I need to make the decision. Now that I find now that I found a corruption that I kind of like, do I keep moving with this, or do I go with the cinematics? And I think I do the cinematics because this is the only one we found out of a whole bunch of tries. And I think we'll have better luck with the cinematics. With those though, I'm going to try Waluigi's, which we haven't given a try to yet. Again, I might eat my words because I'm not seeing anything I like either here. We can try to mess around with the starting address. Some of these are good. Okay, and again, I'd like to test gameplay. Shadows are a little bit off, but that's an immediate crash. I'm not going to sanitize that. Oh, don't you crash. I think it crashed. Can I force stop it? No. It's gonna have to full crash. Alright, restarting here. Very big shadows again. No grass. Huh? That wasn't a battle. They all kind of mixed into the ground, and also this is a good one. It's a gigantic ball. We can save the black screen by sanitizing it. We can get rid of that, I should say. So I'm going to open this latter one in the blast editor, and I'd like to keep that gigantic ball effect. So this is in the blast editor now. I'm now going to, well, to explain things, we need to sanitize the corruption that we're currently looking at in order to improve stability and to just narrow down that singular effect that we like to keep and remove everything else, like the screen going black and maybe the gameplay not working correctly. And in order to do that with all these memory writes, you can disable them individually by going through and just unchecking them and reloading the corruption. However, you'll notice we almost have the exact same effect, and that's because we have 531 memory writes, which is quite a considerable amount, considering that we're individually going through here and removing them. That would take too long to do by yourself. So instead we can randomly disable 50% of them and load the corruption. And while we still see the black screen, what we know from this is that all those ones that we just disabled, about 250 of them, they were unnecessary to the corruption that we're looking at. So what we can actually do in this case is remove those ones. Now we have only 266 memory writes, and we're starting to narrow down the specific corruption that we see. Again, we have a really large ball, or I guess it's sort of an oval ball. Wish they actually scored. However, now we don't have the black screen, so we can remove these ones. So now we can see a bit more. Same thing again. Is the ball especially small? Or is it always that big? Looks extremely small. Anyways, we don't want this half, so we can invert the ones that we disabled. And get this half. That's the big ball that we want. And again. and again. Until we have just eventually a singular memory right. And with that memory right, we can send it to our stash. It's now on the very bottom of our stash history. And we can throw it on the stockpile, calling it something like Oval Soccer Ball. And later on, we're going to combine this effect with other effects that we find, just to sort of create more interesting hybrid corruptions, because this itself isn't too interesting, but combined with a couple things, it can be. You will notice something that's very unfortunate is we can't see any of the characters on screen with this oval effect. Since there is a single memory right, they are hand in hand with each other. I can try re-rolling the corruption. So given the source address, which is listed in parentheses here under Dolphin, we have a particular value that we're sending to memory. And we can change the value that we're sending to memory, not manually, that would be with the Nightmare Engine, but we can re-roll it with other safe values. So I'm going to give that a try. This one we have a much larger ball. Seems to be just in general affecting the size of the ball that we see. Also slightly, I guess, the player locations too, because there's us, kind of, we're like an oval, and then it's flat. However, I don't want to keep any of these other ones, I just want to keep the original. So we'll keep that one on the stockpile, and where is that other effect that we found earlier? This one. Let's see if we can save this. Again, it might not be too interesting to keep, but we can try sanitizing it and throwing it with something else later. Oh shoot, messed that up. If you accidentally remove the half that you didn't mean to remove, or remove the effect that you're looking for, you can always just reload it from the stash history, like nothing happened. There we go. Single memory right, throw it on the stash, throw it on the stockpile, and we'll call it Acidic Field. We can re-roll that to see if we can change the effect. Looks like there's no effect here. Keep trying to change the value we send to memory. It seems that they either dissolve or they don't dissolve. Alright, we can clear the history and start with some fresh ones. If we wanted to see what happens when you combine two of these effects together, unfortunately, the oval one removes all players on the field, so we won't be able to see that. But let's move on further. We can blast target once again and create a new corruption. This one, the ball seems to be stuck on Daisy. I can't really control it. Curious, yeah, as soon as you get the ball, you kind of trip over it. Let's save this one. There we go. Throw that on the stash. We'll call this Trip. And re-roll. And to no surprise, it doesn't have much of an effect. I think it's either you are tripping or you're not. Alright. Clearing history, blasting target with a new one. Camera effect here, what is this one? Looks like there's a car out there. Or some kind of wheel. Huh. And this one's just kind of a flickery camera effect. With that, if you're sensitive to flashing lights or loud sounds or bright colors or anything like that, Unfortunately, we have a lot of that on the stream, and it's out of my control. We will have a lot of flashing lights, bright colors, loud sounds, seemingly at random. Just that's the nature of corruptions. So if you are sensitive to that type of material, I recommend not watching the stream, just as a precaution. Yeah, be safe. Right here, looks like we can affect Daisy's head. Let's adjust that. Alright, there you go. Single member, throw on the stash. And from here, I don't want to keep this effect in itself because it's not that interesting, but let's reroll it to see if we can affect. Oh. Look at this one. Oh, it's the camera. Oh, that's what that was. I thought that was Daisy's head. Ha! How about that? We can try keeping this one, we'll say maybe. But let's keep rerolling it. I want to see if we can get a more reasonable camera size. Actually, this one was pretty good. Is that better than this? No, they're about the same. So we'll name this, how about, Sniper? No, Sharpshooting. Cool. I'm happy with that. It reminds me of Sniper, even though it's just the camera, but reminds me of sniping. We'll do... How about we compare these two together, just so you can see what a multi-corruption looks like. We can merge these two stockpiles together. Is it really called stockpiles? I think these were stashed keys. I guess they're not. Anyways, these are two of them put together. It's that camera effect along with all the characters kind of tripping. Alright, clearing the history and starting with a fresh one. This one's a music corruption. Oh, and a speed corruption. How about that? I like both of those. Let's try to keep the speed one. I like that. Okay, this one has the audience. I like having no audience. This one, the audience is silenced. So it's gonna send this to the stash. I'd like to keep that. But we're gonna save the speed hack. So we'll save this one, or we'll continue sanitizing. Alright, there we go. Single memory right. Throw it on the stash, on the stockpile. We'll call it just speed hack, since we'll adjust it later, and we'll combine it with some other stuff. This one had the quiet audience, so we'll sanitize this a bit. Alright, there we go. Send it to the stash. And we'll call it, it's either reminds me of like a ghost audience or just no one showed up, which is both very sad. But we'll say, ghost audience. Combine these two together, I'm curious what the effect is. Nah, not too interesting. Alright. Nothing I want to combine yet. Let's keep moving on. We're going to up the intensity to increase the results of these corruptions. The guy has a little spike on his back. It looks like in this one, Waluigi is just shaking. I think we might be able to keep that. But does he stop? He stops. So, let's not do that. If we're using real-time corruptor RTC, we might keep that. Okay, this one definitely is red. We might keep that shaking effect because we can make it permanent using Cheat Engine or the Blast Cheat type. But unfortunately with the Windows Glitch Harvester, you're not able to do so. It just doesn't have that corruption engine available. Alright, single memory right, throw on the stash. And once again, with this one, I want to reduce the head size if I can, slightly. Okay, that one's not bad. Can we get any better? Not really. This one, same. This one also same. Let's keep this one. What do we call it? We call it Hothead. Alright. Clear history, boss target. So there's a couple things going on here. The toads all kind of run off sides. Football's kicked. And the ground is blacked out, but I don't think any of these we want to keep. We can try to keep the toad thing. But it's really not that interesting in the end. I don't know, let's try. Oh, but you never kick it. That's probably why they do that. And you can't kick it. Gotcha. I don't want to keep that. Close history, blast target again. White shadows. That's kind of cool when you get an outside boundary break kind of thing. Do I want to keep this though? No, I really don't. We can go further out. Different levels of zoom. I'm gonna change the starting address just to get some new stuff. Bring it back to 0. Near 0. And that's what you do when you try that. Okay, Dolphin crashed. Be careful going towards the starting address, especially with some games that are a little finicky or that crash rather often. Being that close to the starting address will normally result in a crash, especially with GameCube games. Wii games are a little more stable, I guess. GameCube, though, not very stable when you get close to that starting address. You can get some interesting results, though, that's for sure. Like, let's try just a pure 0-1. Another crash. Alright. Let's not try P01. Let's go a little bit further. Let's try the farther out range. We haven't done that as much. I'd like to be able to save like one big disfigured kind of corruption where all the ones... I'm seeing a bunch of... What are these guys doing here? Okay, I want to keep that, that's funny. Anyways, anytime I see like even a little bit of a character corruption, I'd like to keep that and sanitize it and throw it into one sort of mega corruption for all of them. So we're gonna try that. Because I've spotted a couple that I have not kept, but I will need to keep them for now on. Two Yoshis and a Birdo. And whoever's down here, why is that Yoshi? Is he wearing a vest? What is that? It looks like a vest, I don't know what that is. Huh. These guys I think are just normally, they're on the stands over here. Yeah, they're actually in the stands. They're just, it's this stand here gets extended outward. That's funny. Alright. Single memory right. Throw it on the stash. On stockpile. And we'll call it Yoshi and Friends. And I think I'm gonna combine all the weird disfigure kind of corruptions with Hothead. We're gonna call this Master Hothead as the master copy. And from there we'll just keep adding to that one. Alright, Blaster. There's a Toad one I see on this one. We're gonna keep that. This might be way more work than it's worth, but I've already kind of committed, so we're gonna do it. Just a lot of sand sassing, that's all it is. Sand sash. Should we even reroll these or just leave them as is? I'm not sure. Leave them as is probably. Toadhead combined with Master. Oh. Merge. Throw on stockpile. Should we combine them every time, or should we just wait till we have a bunch of them? Here's my question. There we go. So we have now 2 corruptions on screen. We're a little far out on the memory range, so I think I may bring it back. Going to bring it back. So not seeing anything I like. Bring the starting address further back. No audio for this one. I'm sorry? Whoa, I'm sorry? Is that part of the game? Is that just normal? No, that's not normally part of the game. That must be some kind of boss or something. No, I don't remember that at all. Oh, don't do this. So every once in a while when we capture windows within OBS, this sort of happens. It's very frustrating. There we go, back to normal. Oh, but I adjusted the window. It just adds transparency where there's supposed to be transparency. But anyways, let's save this. Unfortunately, we have to wait a couple seconds every time to see Bowser fall, so it can be a very long process, like it's a good 5 seconds. If you ever see a corruption that has more than that, like it's 15 seconds or maybe a whole minute, don't bother sanitizing it, just leave it as is. I mean, if it's worth it, like maybe get the audio back, get it to where it's playable, and leave it as is, because it will take so long to sanitize. This one's fairly reasonable. Isn't a super long time. Almost have that memory address narrowed down. Okay. Single memory right, and I believe this has Bowser in it. Yep. Send it to our stash, throw it on the stockpile, we'll call it Bowser Appears. And we're gonna try re-rolling that. I don't think that will have much of an effect, if any. Yeah, no effect. Alright, let's move on. Clear history, blast target, fresh corruption. I almost want to keep the rectangle shadows. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So, player location's off with the ball. Shadows are like brought up to a billion. And I like the pitter-patter of Toad's feet. I want to keep that pitter-patter of anything. I don't know how I'm going to be able to test that regularly. Okay. I just gotta verify that that sound occurs, so I just have to pass the ball back and make sure it's there. If it is, remove disabled. If it's not, invert and then remove. Alright, there we go. We'll call this Moist Grass. There we go. Alright, we're gonna try re-rolling that. I think this will adjust the loudness of that sound effect. You can kind of hear it very barely in the background. It might not even go through the stream. It also just sounds like Toad heaving because he's trying to run. Okay, anyway. Clearing history, blasting target, fresh corruption. Alright, we're definitely keeping that even though it crashes. Everyone's heads are freaking out. The shadow corruption. Head banging. Alright, single memory right. Send it to the stash, throw it on the stockpile. We'll call it. Make sure it knows how to spell album. I forget if it has an N in it or not. Nope, no N. I always thought there was an N at the end of album. No clue why. Redbox's new album. Alright, re-roll. Use to adjust the intensity of the headbang. This one's very subtle. Oh, no, it's not. Alright. It's whoever's not being played as, because now Daisy's freaking out. That's hilarious. Alright. Let's try combining this with Hothead. Because her head kind of freaks out, which is interesting. But no, I think it deters from the effect that we're looking for with that. These two together. Nah, I'm still not feeling it. How about sharpshooting? These two kind of work together. This one and Redbox New Album. Oh, but oddly enough, this eliminates the camera. That's very strange. Maybe that's why people's heads are freaking out? Huh. Alright, so those two can't go together because some odd reason from them headbanging like this, the camera gets eliminated. Not sure why that is. Alright. Alright, so there's nothing I want to combine yet. Let's move on. This one's the Lord Shadow one. We haven't actually kept one of these yet, so let's just pick this one. You notice the music got loud there for a second, but by sanitizing it, we're removing that effect. In preference of maybe one of our own effects that deals with music, something more preferable. Alright, single memory, throw on the stash. On the stockpile, we'll call it Lord Shadows. These names aren't too unique just because we're doing them as general components. When we combine them together as multi-corruptions, we'll think more interesting names. These ones where they're kind of fizzling into the grass, we've captured that one before. Oh, kind of like random teleporting. I don't know what's going on there. Let's keep this one. Oh man, in order to check if that effect exists. Oh no, it's almost instantaneous. Alright. Alright, single memory. On the stash it goes. And on the stockpile, we'll call it teleporting around. Alright. And reroll. Seems to affect the intensity of that little teleport. That little slide. Yeah, definitely the intensity. Sometimes you go halfway across the field, sometimes you only go a little bit further from where you start. Sometimes not really at all. Alright. Clicking history. New target, new corruption. Now there, it's hard to see, but there's a very good corruption in this one. A very good corruption. Look at Waluigi's neck there. This is why we sanitize, because normally you can't see what's going on back there. But if you catch a glimpse of it, I really hope we can capture it. I think we can. Okay, camera's a little messed up, so we're almost there. I really hope they're not hand in hand. I don't think they would be. Camera effects and having to do with objects like that, no. It looks really good, but I want to be zoomed out so I can see it. They might be hand in hand. That's unfortunate if they would be. I think they are. They are. Man, that's unfortunate. Alright. So we can't really see what's going on. It's awful, is what it is, but it's so zoomed out I can't tell. We're gonna send it to the stash since it is sanitized already. And we're gonna try re-rolling it. Now there is a good one. This one, it looks better. Like we can see what's going on. Everyone's heads are drawn to the center. I think that's what's going on in the initial corruption, is everyone's heads are sort of stuck looking in that direction, wherever that is. But it's so intense we can't really see it. And it's kind of far zoomed out too. Because yeah, it looks like all their little vertices are going that way. Alright, let's keep this one. We'll call it circle attention. Because that's their attention's in the circle. Let's keep trying. Let's see if we can get a better one out of this. It's a good corruption otherwise, if we can get that effect just right. Nope, no luck. All right, that's the only one. Well, I'm kind of happy with this. This one's good. It's not truly horrifying, because you just can't get a good look at him, but I'm happy with it. Let's move on. I'm gonna make a stream marker for that one. Alright, go to history, blast target. Sort of a fractal net. I think it's another camera, yeah, with a camera corruption. Well, we should save that one, because we might be able to combine the two sharpshooting ones together. Alright, single memory right, throw on stash, and reroll until we have a good looking effect. These intense rerolls are just killing my PC. You can hear it struggling. Because we're doing a lot of memory writes every second until we have the effect we're looking for. I want the one where it's just behind Easy's head. All I'm asking for. And I'll stop torturing my PC. None of these, man. We had one that resembled the camera, so I think I'll take that one if I can go find it somewhere around here. There's the one. Combine, well, we'll call this camera 2, and let's try combining that with sharpshooting. Merge selected. Yeah, let's keep. Is that better than the initial one though? Not really. I kind of like just the plain one, just this one. Let's see, let's remove camera 2, we don't need that. Alright, moving on. That's a good one. Let's keep that. There's the one we named the title after, Steroid Sucker. Alright. Single memory right, throw on the stash, and on the stockpile it goes. I'll call it Steroid Sucker. And let's re-roll that too. Ooh, lots of flashing lights. Are they all on their side? They all are. How about that? I like that. Let's call this Pill Sucker. Keep re-rolling. Oh, they're just gigantic. Do I like that better in this one, though? I think I like them being kind of smaller. Well, no, it's not as ridiculous, though. This one's just ridiculous. Can we find a nice median? Let's save that. I want to make sure we don't lose it. Steroid Sucker 2. There's a really tiny Pill Sucker. I like that one too. Call this Shrimp Sucker. There's an even larger version. Don't want that. Let's keep this one instead. And we'll remove Steroid Sucker. And rename Steroid Sucker 2 just to Steroid Sucker. Let's do some combining now, just because we have so many on the stockpile. So I'm curious if any of these will merge nicely with Circle Tension. This one does not. Shrimp Sucker definitely doesn't. And neither does Pill Sucker. Steroid Sucker. Make sure this doesn't merge nicely. Nah, I don't like that. I like the original. Teleporting around. I like these two. Let's combine these two together. We'll call this... shoot, I want to say Sperm Sucker, but that's a bad name. How about... What are these things? What would you call these? I mean, I still like Pill Sucker. We'll just keep it as that for now. Pill Sucker. And we'll remove... We'll put it up here. We'll remove the old Pill Sucker. And we'll remove Teleporting Around, because that's the effect we kept. Circle Tension, keeping large shadows. Can we mix that with Circle Tension? Yeah, we absolutely can. That's a good one. Let's call this Circle Tension still. How about the Cults of Soccer? Kinda like that better. Circle Tension removing and large shadows are removing, so we make room. Can we mix these two together? Cult of Soccer and... Yeah! I'm gonna merge these two, but we're gonna still just call it the Cult of Soccer, and we're not gonna remove the headbanging one, because that's a cool effect. We can combine that with others. But we'll put that up here. Revealed one. So now they have sort of more interaction. They're just kind of moving around and twitching, and staring in the center. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Moist Grass. I mean, shoot, anything really goes with this. Yeah. Let's throw those together. Because we don't have a really sound effect on these yet. It's just dragging around. Oh my god. Jesus. I want to score again, wait. If I can, god. I think that was in the wrong goal anyways, but that's alright. Oh. There we go. Okay, that wasn't as bad, but still, Jesus. Alright. We have a new one here, right? This is the bad walking. Alright. Remove the old one. I think we can get rid of moist grass. Let's make sure we don't mix it with anything else first. Bowser appears. Let's try these two together. Yes! That is fantastic. Oh, it's not captured in the cam. Alright, throw those two together. Or they already are together, I guess. I'll throw this on the stock file. Oh, Jesus. We should still use Bowser Appears with something else. Usually for friends we don't really have... Well, we could try these two together. I mean, we have used so much Golden Soccer now, but we can see if these mix together nicely. They don't, so okay. Because they're not having that same head effect, so... It's not just added nonsense. I haven't really had a use for Ghost Audience yet. We can mix... How about these two together? Bowser Friends and that. Oh, oddly enough, those don't mix. Oh, Bowser Appears. Oh, my bad. Wrong one. We need Yoshi and Friends and Ghost Audience. Yeah, there's something kind of odd about that. Well, we'll just name this, like, Eerie. And move from there. So we're going to put this up here with Ghost Audience. And Yoshi and Friends we can remove. And we'll keep trying to add to this if we can. Speed Hack, haven't had a use for this yet. We can mix it with, like, Steroid Sucker? No, Shrimp Sucker. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. God, that's great. Alright, combine those two together. All this, high-speed shrimp? No. Shrimp per sec? No. Shrimp speed. Move this up here with... We can keep it down here, actually, with the Cult of Soccer. We'll remove Speed Hack, because I don't really have another use for that. And we can remove Shrimp Soccer. This one. Shrimp Speed is now a new one. We still need to use Pill Soccer for something, and we still need to use Steroid Soccer for something. Moist Grass we still have, because I like that sound effect, so we can see if we can mix it with anything. Trippin' we still have. Can we mix that with Pill? No, we cannot. This stuff just goes wrong. Well, this one in Pill. No. Trippin' and Golden Soccer? No. Too much interaction. Trippin' and Steroid Soccer? No. I don't know if we'll use Trippin' or Acidic Field or Oval Soccer or some of our first early ones. I don't know if we have a use for them yet, but let's move on. We'll do some fresh corruptions now. I am slightly curious what happens when we combine all of our corruptions into one, just to see what happens. Yeah, that's kind of expected. No music, no ball, no people. Bowser dropped, but we can't see him. Alright. This one here, it looks like something was wrong in the background. No. And this one... Nah. I was gonna keep the physical corruption to the guy, but I don't wanna bother checking every single time. There's another Toad corruption we can keep. Nope, nope, maybe not. I have to see this toad back here because he's the one that has it. That can be kind of a gimmick to do every single time. I don't think he has it in this one. Okay. We should have to pass back. And it's important to sanitize these ones, especially to their completion, just because, oh, I don't know if I did that right. Enable everything. Corrupt. Alright. Just because these excess memory rights can sort of start to add up, and we can definitely run into some crashes if we try combining all of these together. Alright, single memory right. Stash, stockpile, toadhead, combined with master hothead. And now we have a couple physical corruptions for these guys. Throw that on the stockpile, call this master hothead. And we'll actually delete this one that's towards the top just to keep it all at the bottom. But there we go, got another one of those. We'll start fresh again. Nothing I want to keep here. I like the coloration, but I don't know what I'm ever going to do with that, so let's move on. There's the circle appreciation again. R/ the circle of trust. The betrayal for April Fools. I look forward to April. I just forgot about that. It's gonna be this year. In a couple, before I end school, it'll be April. Should be nice. Okay, we've been with this starting address for a while. Let's dial it back a little bit just to try some new stuff. There's the pill soccer again. Lots of crashes, sadly. No crowding in. Another corruption we're going to keep. Oh, shoot, right at the end. Going too fast in this. Alright, single merit right. Stash, Waluigi skin, mix, combine, throw together, hothead. Alright, moving on. There's another Daisy one that we don't have yet. Because it looks like an arm or something on the back. Alright. Another one. Throw it on the stockpile. Daisy skin. Combine, merge, and throw together. Hothead. And delete Daisy skin, and delete secondary hothead. And blaster. We haven't done that one yet, let's keep that. Alright, stash. Hammer skin. Combine, merge, and throw on stockpile. Hothead. There we go. Got a lot of little ones here and there. Getting some good progress on that. We still got Toadhead on there. Alright, last target. That's not bad. Oh, what was this one? Oh, it was just appearing from down below, I guess. Yeah. This is weird. It's kind of better when they don't play, which is what they were doing a second ago, and then you get some people staring at you with, yeah. I don't really want to keep it. Let's move on. In the end, it's just sort of a camera trick. Got that hammer bow already. Got that peach corruption. Raising the intensity. And I think the next time we crash, we'll call it, and we'll try to sanitize or combine the remainder of our corruptions and call for the evening. Now that's a good one. What can we keep here is the question. Every time someone moves, they have big heads. That's another corruption I'd like to keep. We're going to send that to the stash and tackle that later. And actually, I think that's actually the corruption we want to keep. So let's take a look at that one instead. That's the more interesting one of these two. As long as we don't have to keep that overhead view, I'll be happy. I'd be extremely interested if that does have to do with the overhead view, but it seems like it might, which is disappointing because then it removes kind of any attraction to the effect. But yeah. They're associated together, so that overhead effect creates the sort of big head. It's not on the stash and call it big head. Let's try re-rolling it. This one. It's happening, but it's very subtle because of the camera angle. And I think the further away from the camera, yeah. So I guess some of these objects are based on camera distance. Like maybe how the head is drawn is, or the body itself is drawn, just how far away from the camera you are. In this case we have big heads. This one, Waluigi's face is backwards. At times. Well, big head, can we keep this with anything? Let's see. Not that I can think of. Because in itself, like, it has to be something for this corruption. I can't think of anything for it. How about these two? Nah. This would be nicer if they're smaller, otherwise it's just chaos. I don't think we want to keep Big Head, unfortunately. I'm going to remove that. Hot Head I want to try with Cult of Soccer. Nah, I think it takes away from the effect. I like the flat characters. Shrimp Speed. This is corruption itself. We're gonna keep this all together. Let's mix this with Moist Grass. Yeah, I like that. And we'll just call it Shrimp. I like that better. Pillsucker. I can't think of anything to do with this. The teleporting, well, it is kind of obvious. Alright. Next Gen Soccer. Future Soccer. Eerie, I can't think of anything to keep this with. Tripping we're gonna remove. Nothing I want to throw with that. Acidic Field we're gonna remove. No effect was interesting with that. Oval Soccer just removed all the characters, which we really didn't want. Sharpshooting I think we'll keep in itself, but we'll call it... Oh, is it add a taste to a JFK joke? I think it is. I think sharpshooting works because it could also be like a soccer term, so you're like, oh, what's sharpshooting? And then you see it and you're like, oh, that's what sharpshooting meant. Eerie, I think I'm gonna remove. I don't think I want to keep this for anything. We could try Bowser. The music gets cut though, so him appearing isn't... Well, it is kind of interesting actually. Let's throw these two together. Why not? We'll call this Eerie. And now we can remove Bowser Appears because we're not going to use that with anything else, and we can remove the old Eerie. Moist Grass we're going to remove. Redbox's new album. We already mixed that with Cult of Soccer. Can we do it with Shrimp? Oh, these two together. Shrimp and Redbox. Nah. Steroid Soccer and Redbox. I think I would try this. Not terrible. Yeah, why not? Just adds another effect. We also need a better name than Steroid Soccer. But we can now remove Redbox's new album. Oh, before I'd done that, I should have checked if I can mix it with Hothead. That would have been a good mixture. Hothead, while we spent a long time adding stuff to this, I don't think I really like it. There's not a lot here. So I'm going to remove that as well. And from the top we have Sharpshooting, Eerie, the Cult of Soccer, probably the best one of the evening. Shrimp, Future Soccer, and Steroid Soccer. And we need a better name for Steroid Soccer, which we're going to call... We'll call it whey protein. Whey protein, is that the right word? Like whey powder is what I'm thinking of. But whey powder. Which is just milk. Whey powder. And instead of Future Soccer, we still need a better name for this. How about, Special Soccer is not the right term. Ideal Body Soccer now. Athlete Bot, how about that? That's not bad. Alright, with that, I mean, we had probably 20 corruptions that we kept, individual components, a few of which we threw out, but together we had 6 finished corruptions that I'm pretty happy with. So let's go ahead and save the stockpile. Maybe it's the desktop, we'll call it. Striker stockpile. And in addition to that, what save state are we targeting? We're targeting save state 4? Yes. So I need to absolutely make sure I'm also pulling save state 4 out, so I'm just going to take that out of my save state folder and just stick it on my desktop. Make sure I have a copy of it. Alright. And now I am going to pause the game. And we can actually close it down here. And we're going to switch over to host and so on. We're first going to pull up music. So let's grab some music. We're doing a lot of funk lately. How about we do a good electric funk song? Let's see if I can find it. I've already played it. Here we go. The Electric Peanut Butter Company. So, thank you for everyone who was able to stop by. We had a couple people drop in. That was Super Strikers, which we had a little bit of interest towards. There's a little bit of corruptions here and there that we could pull from. Not too many, but I was pretty happy with the final stockpile, and I'm adopting my new method of creating hybrid corruptions with the Windows Glitch Harvester. I'm not favoring individual components. We're putting those individual components together to create a more interesting stockpile. Yeah, let's find someone to host. Alright, now I've got someone to host here, so as soon as the music plays out, we'll go and swap to them. Once again, thank you, and most likely I'll be streaming tomorrow, so I'll see you then.